I am a season ticket holder of the Hawks. Disappointing season to start so far, but going into the season, and then Toro, I just wanted to say this: you are a pretty much full time photographer at the Hawks, and so I kind of want you to take us into what happened last night at the game, but just to kind of set the framework here for everybody. Trae Young, who is a four-time All-Star, been with the Atlanta Hawks since his career began in the NBA. We all remember the Luka Doncic trade where we got Trae, we traded off Luka. And I think Trae Young honestly leaves with mixed emotions, kind of like we talked about with the Falcons. There are some Trae Young fans out there, but there are a lot of people who felt like maybe the Hawks needed to think about going in a different direction, and they did that. And
Mhm.
so now they do it kind of during the season. The Hawks now go on a West Coast swing. You can tell by being at the games, being there in my seats, I can see the dynamics on the bench that when Trae was banged up and hurt, the Hawks had a good run. They had some wins, they had some losses, but you can see them sort of playing at a different level and then trying to reinsert Trae Young to the Atlanta Hawks was something that I think was on goodwill wanting to work, but you can definitely see the last few games they were going away. So set the scene for us. Tell us about the trade, who's all involved in the trade, and then more importantly, take our viewers and listeners into sort of the mood at the arena, at State Farm Arena last night.
All right. So Trae Young was traded to the Washington Wizards for swingman CJ McCollum, a
Mhm.
veteran in the league, and Corey Kispert, who is a high volume 3-point sharpshooter. There were no draft picks exchanged in the trade. That's very important here. The Atlanta Hawks currently hold the New Orleans Pelicans top pick in the 2026 NBA draft. So right now, based on record, that may be a top 3 pick in a loaded NBA draft in 2026.
Mm.
They also have San Antonio's first round pick in this year's draft. That may be in the 20s because San Antonio is a good team this year. Management approached Trae Young about a contract extension. Trae was like, nah, I want supermax money. Management said no. Then Trae gets hurt in Brooklyn, um, MCL injury, misses 6 to 8 weeks, comes back, has a right quad injury. That's why he's sidelined now. He's got that quad injury. So he's only played in 10 games. In those 10 games, the Hawks are 2-8. The Hawks have a winning record without Trae. Is it that simple? No. Here's the other point. Earlier this week, Trae Young's representatives approached management and said, okay, we got to explore trade options here. Why? Jalen Johnson is emerging. He is
Mhm.
emerging as the next star of the team, although he's not Trae Young, but functionally for what the Hawks want to do, he is that guy. 6'8", can run the floor, bring the ball up, play defense, handle the paint, shoot threes. He does all those things. And historically in the NBA, and I'll pivot back over to you. Historically in the NBA, it's hard to win with point guards as the face of the team.
Hmm. No, and listen, no, let's keep it going because I would definitely want to dig into it. But I think that how much of Trae Young's inability to consistently play good defense. Sometimes he would turn over the ball, but let's not forget Trey has bailed us out of some games. Like this guy's a four-time All-Star. He's excited, and when he's hot, I mean, he's hot. I mean, now I miss seeing the
Mhm,
ice cold, Trey sort of,
mhm.
expression that he would give after hearing that. But how much of the lack of defense and the other players being able to play defense you think went into the trade talks?
Trae Young not playing enough defense stuck on the minds of a lot of fans in the building.
Hmm.
Stuck in a lot of fans' minds in the building. That was just could not escape it. Could not escape it, no matter what he brought to the court. Um, opponents would target him. They'd run plays specifically targeting Trae in the pick and roll and the dribble handoffs. like they'd run screens intentionally to get Trae out the picture because he only weighs 165 pounds soaking wet.
But there are people in the league, players in the league that are shorter than Trae.
Very much so.
I mean, what Steph Curry?
Very
I
much
mean,
so.
well, Steph Curry is probably about the same height,
Right.
but without definitely the same weight. But nobody criticizes Curry's defense
Because Curry has a commitment to the defensive end.
Okay, so it was a lack of commitment, you
It
think,
was the lack of commitment.
coupled with his ability
Coupled
to
with,
score.
right.
Okay.
So the thing was like when Quinn Snyder would come and speak to the media after the games, he would always say, "We got to play better defense. We got to be connected, play better defense." The previous head coach, Nate McMillan, said the same thing. Got to be connected, play better defense. The head coach before Nate McMillan said the same thing. Have to play connected, play better defense. What's the common thread in all of that? Trae Young.
Mm.
So this new GM, Ansi Soleil, he said, "All right, I want to come in here with an open mind and see what we have here with the team." He brought in Nikhil Alexander-Walker. He brought in Luke Kennard. He brought in Kristaps Porzingis to pair with Jalen Johnson and Onyeka Okongwu and Zachary Richardson.
Yeah.
And, the young core.
And you got Dyson Daniels.
And Dyson Daniels.
And then the new guy, Newell.
And Newell from University of Georgia.
University of Georgia. I mean, so and we can't forget Zachariah. How you pronounce his
Zachary Richardson.
Zachary Richardson. Sorry about that, Zachary. So what I'm hearing is, as we kind of close this out, is that good move for the Hawks. And I didn't know what you were just saying about the draft picks. So this is sort of not a rebuild move. This is let's maybe try to go as far as we can and get into the playoffs with a young, talented team. But just know that we're building for the future as well.
$40 million is now open in the cap because of Trae Young's departure.
But what did the Wizards? Well, he goes to the Wizards because the Wizards is kind of like
the Wizards are a young team, but also again back to the max contract conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Washington has the money to pay Trae. The other teams that were in the running for Trae Young services were the Milwaukee Bucks and the Brooklyn Nets. Both teams that potentially would have had the money to pay Trae what he wants. Milwaukee, Giannis is in a standoff with ownership and management over his future. He hasn't asked for a trade yet, but it's going to come to that. Brooklyn, they're rebuilding. They've shipped everyone out. They're working with a blank slate. But ultimately, Washington had the young pieces that excited Trae. And they have the money to spend.
They got the money. Real quick as we close out, what was the atmosphere like in the arena last night?
Absolutely. So he warmed up, did not have team-issued gear on.
Now, has he ever done that before? Or has he
never done that. And that's against NBA rules.
Okay.
Like you step on that court, if you are warming up or anything like that, you must have, you know what I'm saying? So he said goodbye to the team staff, the trainers, the ball boys, everybody. The vibe in there was more so like, okay, you're going on a road trip. This is the perfect time to make a trade. 8-day, four, however long, 8-day road trip, West Coast, the perfect time to make a trade like this because team won't be home for 8, 9, 10 days, right? So Trae says his goodbyes around the fourth quarter, hugs DC Young Fly.
But he goes in the locker room. When did he go in the locker room the first time?
He went in the locker room around 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, presumably to take the call.
Okay.
Then comes back out. When he was in the back, everybody's phones are going off. Trae Young got traded. Trae Young got traded. Trae Young got traded. He comes back out. There is this feeling of uneasiness and confusion in the air. Because typically what happens, if you get traded during the game, the Jets waiting for you at the FBO. So he came back, sat on the bench, dribbled a basketball, dabbed up 2 Chainz and Halo and did the whole thing, and then went to the back. Play-by-play announcer Bob Rathbun said he's the only man in the hallway as the camera followed him through the tunnel into the locker room. it was a surreal moment, bro.
Well, look, man, we wish Trae well. Thank you, Trae, for giving us the service and the years that you were here. Again, I have friends who are not huge Trae Young fans. I actually like Trae a lot. I definitely think that the Hawks are definitely building for this year and the future. But I appreciate you guys listening and watching this episode of Tharon's Take. Just to recap, we talked about the Atlanta Falcons with the announcement of Arthur Blank addressing the media and the future of the Falcons. And also we talked about the trade with the Atlanta Hawks and Trae Young. So continue to watch, continue to subscribe, and follow us on all our social media platforms. And remember to like and subscribe to this podcast.